Hello and welcome. You're the first one over here. Sage is going to head on over here pretty soon. She should be over here in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. I'm just here to welcome everybody
Jumped at the
on.
chance.
That's awesome. No, the quicker the better, right? More of a
Right.
chance to get that coaching around that niche clarity. It's just so exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome, Marcia.
I've worked with a variety of people right now, but getting that clarity has been hard to, take it to the next level.
Okay, welcome ladies, welcome ladies. I'm just going to keep you guys muted as you come in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sage will join us pretty soon. And here she comes. I see her coming in.
Hello, infamous Jill.
Hello, beautiful.
So good to see you guys. Jill and I went to Africa together last year and fell even more in love with each other. And we both have cats named Nalu. So we are officially good buddies. And Jill actually has been on an amazing journey of clarifying her message. She's a graduate of our programs and an incredible coach in the area of manifestation. Let's give Jill a kiss. I'm going to get ready to take notes because it can help me when I'm niche coaching you guys just to take notes. All right. Go ahead and unmute yourself and make some noise. Ow, 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 just to let yourself And I want to say just a few things about niche clarity before we dive in. So, number one, what we're seeing in the marketplace is a trend toward micro niching. Okay. What that means is that in order to get momentum, it can be really helpful to get even more specific than you think you need to be. For instance, I was coaching somebody. If you know who this is, you guys can remind me on the Facebook group. I'm having a brain fart, but one of the sisters who just joined the program is wanting to support women in the helping professions to fill up their cups so they don't burn out. So she's helping therapists and change makers and service-oriented professionals. And I recommended that she just choose either therapists or change makers just to get some momentum. Does it make sense? It doesn't mean she can't support both those groups a year from now or even 8 months from now, but to think about launching a support group for therapists or a support program for change makers specifically, right? Because who somebody is as a therapist, they're billing insurance, they might have a practice, they might have a brick and mortar. They're going to be in a different conversation than somebody that considers themselves a change maker. So again, I want to say there's a trend in the industry toward micro niching, and micro niching is going to help you get momentum. Because what we're seeing online is that the market is really maturing. It used to be enough for me to come out and say, I can help you build your business, right? But that doesn't work anymore. Now I'm saying I can actually help you launch a mini movement online, right? That's something I believe in. It's something I can stand behind. It aligns with my values because most movements may be a business service and also may have a social change aspect, right? So that's who I am. You guys know that. So the other thing I want to say is that we have another niche bonus call that Shannon was telling you about on October 13th at 2 p.m. Pacific. So that's going to be another chance to keep working on your niche in a group. And of course, your private coaches are standing by waiting to do that hour-long onboarding session with you in the next couple of weeks. And you guys have your Make Money with Your Message bonus course that's going to give you a ton of guidance to really help you choose a niche. But we're going to dive in and we're going to see how many of you beautiful women we can get through in the next hour or so. And remember that you may get your clarity when I'm coaching one of your fellow students. So let's start with Julie. Hi, sweetheart. Julie Aird.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, this is Julie Aird. We've got two Julies here.
Julie, you had your hand up. Oh, did you have your hand up first?
I think I did.
If you had your hand up, go for it, and then we'll go to the other Julie.
Okay, awesome. Well, Sage, I appreciate this. I've been in your program for 6 months, and I have a group called Finding Fulfillment After 40. And my focus has been on career fulfillment for women. And I've been vacillating between just, my story is that I left a 30-year career a year ago. Tomorrow's my year anniversary. And I became a full-time entrepreneur. And I have been interested in working with people that want to take big leaps in their life, that want to take those jumps, that are over 40, that have a passion. They either want to change careers, they want to start a business, but they're ready to take a leap. They're ready to take the jump. And I have kind of gone back and forth between, I'm still trying to figure out what is really my message, because
how's it going for you since you've been at this 6 months? And I remember either hearing you or, you know, I remember either connecting with you or hearing one of the coaches connecting with you a while back on this, but how's it going? Do you have people in your Facebook group? Do you have any paying clients yet?
I have 350 in my Facebook group.
Awesome.
And I have one paying client.
Congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. And she is not interested in changing her career.
Okay. And do you feel excited to help people reinvent in the area of career?
Not really in the area of career.
Okay.
I would be interested in helping people, new entrepreneurs, but which is different, I think. Not just changing your career, but becoming an entrepreneur. But I feel like I'm too young at this stage. Like I don't have enough practice or clients to be able to tell people how to grow their business. And
but that's not your job. If you are a reinvention mentor, if you are in the niche of, I'm going to help you reinvent, I'm going to help you get clear, right? If that's your niche, if that's what your promise is, you don't have to give business strategies and you don't have to understand all of the career dynamics, right? When I used to do purpose coaching, I was upfront that I'm not going to give you strategies to climb the corporate ladder, but I'm going to coach you on who you're being so you can bring that into your career so you can ask for and create the career of your dreams. So
yes.
I want to make sure that we get clear on what your role is in alignment with what you're saying. And this is going to be true for every single one of you, because one of the things I've seen keeps people in niche soup is you'll stay in niche soup because you don't fully feel qualified or you're holding back a little bit. What I've seen, niche soup is oftentimes more about just doing some inner work around building your confidence. Does that make sense? Rather than like, I can't decide who it is, right? It's usually more, there's something underneath that of just owning it and getting out there to help people. So when you say finding fulfillment after 40, my sense is that you would be willing to help me a little bit with career confusion if I had it. And
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think really, Sage, I've done some polling in my group, and what they want aligns with what I feel like I can really bring. Like what I can bring, what I'm really good at is giving people the courage and the confidence to take those leaps, to take those steps. I talk a lot in my lives about stretching, dealing with resistance, getting clear, getting into your heart. Those are all the things. I'm not going to give them the step-by-step on how to grow their business like you do for us.
Right.
But it's basically going from you're at point A, you want to get to point B. It feels like a big jump, a big leap, like there's no net, and I'm your bridge. That's kind of how I see myself.
So here's my feedback for you. And this is really good learning for everybody. First of all, I can tell you love what you do. I can tell you're great on camera. I can see why people are joining your group and listening to your videos, because I think you're magnetic and I think you have an authenticity that flows through you that people trust. Raise your hand if you can see that in Julie. So Julie, what I'm always looking for as a coach, and I'm going to invite you guys to look through my eyes so you can do this for each other. I'm always looking for, where's actually the gap? Because if you have 350 people in your Facebook group, I would like to see you having 5 to 10 paying clients, right?
Me too.
And so what I'm looking for is they're seeing that there's something of value, they're joining, or you wouldn't have 350. That's a lot, okay? Now, the gap, I think, is that once they get in there, you're not actually linking back the coaching and the guidance that you're giving them to the actual tangible real life value. So write this down. When you guys are thinking about packaging your services in your niche, there's 2 words that we're going to encourage you to pay attention to all year long. And those 2 words are so that. So that. So Julie, you're giving people, you're talking about the courage, the confidence to take a leap, but why? For what? When you don't link it back to real life value, tangible, practical. I'm having a conversation with my boss. I'm having a conversation with my kids. My kids are blowing up in my face. I am having a conversation with my partner, my wife, my husband, whatever it is. If you can't help us see how what you're telling us is gonna actually change our life, then your clients don't understand that they should invest. Okay, so your next step is to really start getting more practical in your videos and with your advice, right? I would invite you to consider making videos about, the 3 keys to getting confidence to speak up to the person you're most afraid of, right? Right? So link it back to speaking up to the person you're most afraid of, getting clear in an area of your life where you have chronic confusion. And then talk about how if you have chronic confusion, you can end up off track in your career. And now you're showing up for work that's not fulfilling. Now, remember, your job is not to help them figure out the corporate ladder or the professional structures or the 3 keys to marketing themselves. That's not you. Your job is to coach people to be the best versions of themselves and to reinvent themselves confidently so that they can show up for all those areas of your life. And that, my friend, people know is valuable. They know it because they know, some of them actually know what they should be doing at work. Some of them already have a sense of what they could be doing to start the beauty salon that they've been thinking about starting. But they know there's something bigger holding them back around the reinvention, around the confidence. And I'm imagining you probably believe a little bit like I do, where it's like, when we can work on who you're being, it's easy to go out there and take the action steps.
Yes. And that's what I want to help them with.
Perfect.
Who they're being, their mindset. Yeah. Because self-talk and the mindset is so huge, right?
Yep. So Julie, your next step is to write down at least 5 different practical things that can be improved when people do the work that you're offering them. Practical things like addressing conflict with their spouse, or diffusing the drama with their children, right? Or standing up to their boss at work, and starting to work that into your trainings and your videos, right? Making quicker decisions, cutting through the confusion, right? Start to make more videos and provide more content that have more practical applications. And do not get caught in the belief that then you have to go out there and be an expert on helping people stand up to their boss. You don't. Just because you're talking about it doesn't mean that all of a sudden is your area of expertise and you have to go do, read 5 books on the dynamic between CEOs and employees. You don't. You're a leader. You're more of a leadership mentor. And so you get to explain, once people come in your world and they take you up on a confidence breakthrough session or whatever it is, you get to explain how you can help them. And you can explain that confidently, because I can tell you're awesome at it. Okay.
Thank you, Sage. Thank you. Super helpful.
You're so welcome. Let us know how it goes. Kiss for Julie. Mwah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. The other Julie.
Hi,
sweetie.
Okay, so my big conflict is I have like 4 areas and I'm trying to figure out which one is going to be most easily monetizable, marketable, and then of course the passion that you have. So
slap them on us. Just
okay.
list through them.
Okay, so the first one is I had a daughter with allergies when she was born.
Kids with allergies. Yep.
Massive path of all holistic health alternatives. So now I'm just super into clean eating, healthy, health and wellness. I could literally talk about it all day. It drives my family nuts.
I love it.
The second one is that I've been a speech language pathologist for over 25 years, and I'm trying to figure out how I could help. There's a big need for newborn swallow babies. They have traumas. They have a lot of eating problems, which of course relates back to the holistic health because they're eating crappy food. The gut is not working. And just all the, amongst all the, you know, the technical stuff with the throat and the muscles and all that stuff, which I'm used to doing.
Yep.
But when I come to that, which I love working with the moms, I love working with the babies, but I'm thinking, can they really pay? They're kind of stuck in the medical world, medical system. You see what I mean? A lot of them are. So I don't really know that that's as marketable, even though I love it, you know?
Yep.
And then the, during the course of all that, I had a specific little 7-year-old client, which showed up as a stroke. She had a very rare disease. And I took me on probably 6 years of, and thousands of dollars working into an energetic field called bioenergetic medicine. I have studied with Dr. Sue Mortar and all that kind of stuff. So now I know all of that. So then I'm like, that is a fabulous area because it gets into all the subconscious trauma and subconscious blocks and all that kind of touchy-feely stuff that's not on the realm that I've been working in, but it's so powerful. It really helps a lot of people. So then I'm like, well, I don't even know where to begin on that for targeting a niche. And then the last one is, and maybe this is down the road, I love studying business as a hobby. Speech therapy is a smaller field. People don't really know what it is. There's a shortage of them. And a lot of them do not know how to market themselves and run a business. You see what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out where's the best place to start.
For any of you, raise your hand if you're deciding between 2 or 3 different groups. Okay. So one thing I invite you all to do is to just kind of put those groups of people in front of you and visualize them. You can do that right here, right now, every single one of you. Visualize a representative of each of those groups literally standing in front of you, right? So for Julie, you've got a parent who has a child who has allergies. And of course, the doctors have been giving this parent all kinds of bad advice, right? So you've got that parent in front of you with a kid with allergies and they're desperate to know what to do. Then you've got a parent who has a newborn child, right? Who needs all kinds of support, right? That newborn might have a diagnosis, right? So parents of newborns who are struggling with some kind of, Western medicine in newborns, like, hello, that's the scariest moment of a parent's life. And oftentimes Western doctors can only do so much, right?
Not to mention the mom has a trauma,
right?
On personal stuff going on probably too.
Right. And then the third actual person that I heard you describe was a speech therapist who's wanting to start a business. So you've got a parent of a kid with an allergy, you've got a traumatized parent of a newborn, you've got a speech therapist wanting to start a business. They're all 3 standing in front of you. I'm going to hand you 10 grand to support this person all year long. Which person are you most excited to grab and support? Just without thinking about it too much.
A parent of allergies, a parent of swallowing, a parent of speech.
When you said it, and I think for all you guys who are in fusion, be really mature in tracking your own thinking. Because Julie, you gave us the answer. You said one of the first things out of your mouth, I could talk about this all week or all month long. I could talk about this forever, endlessly. My passion for helping parents who have these children, right, who have been diagnosed with allergies or, right, who are in that conversation, because there's so many solutions to them. And I'll tell you what, it's a cause that's near and dear to my heart, because I was told years ago, I was given this printout of all the things I was allergic to. And it was, excuse my French, bullshit. I just needed to clean some things up. And now I can eat pretty much anything. And
Yeah.
at the time I was single and I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to go out for dinner with, my friends. And that's one of the reasons one of the ways I connect. And I wanted to be able to go out on dates, and I was mortified. I'm like, I can't eat any of this stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, you're allergic to all of it. And what part of me just wanted to give her a big fat, F you. Like there is so much misinformation out there. And so I feel super excited about you supporting in this area. And the other thing that I want to encourage every single one of you to know is that, just like Reverend Deborah said in our recent event, nothing is wasted. I've done some of Dr. Sue's courses. Do you think it makes me a better niche coach? Yeah, because I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm listening for, right? I'm coaching you on multiple levels of strategy and the energy behind it and the mindset and understanding, right, how trauma plays out when you guys go to ask for the sale. So it also just has helped me become better at space holding and knowing how to bring a group along with me. So I just want to say to you guys, if there's something you're passionate about in those more softer realms, the bioenergetic stuff, the trauma relief stuff, the, helping people remove their blocks, helping people become more confident. Oftentimes those kinds of promises don't make the best niche to get started. And Dr. Sue herself will tell you she started in the chiropractic realm. That's how she got known. She was a chiropractor. She didn't come out in the world and go, I'm going to teach you bioenergetics and build a 7-figure company off of that. That was not how it went down. She got known because she understood certain mechanics of the body. Her father was a chiropractor. She started getting people pain relief. And it's blown up into this big, beautiful movement of people understanding energy. And your brand could also blow up, Julie. In the next 2 to 3 years, Women Rocking Business is going to be launching a whole leadership platform, right? And I will be launching a leadership platform on top of a platform that already exists, right? Tony Robbins didn't just become Tony Robbins by being high energy. He started out helping people with weight loss. He was helping people get more healthy, get more fit. He was teaching about the difference between an acidic diet and an alkaline diet, and how alkalizing your body could create all of these changes in your life. That's how he got known. That was his platform, So most spiritual teachers out there, and Wayne Dyer built his platform partly on sexuality, by the way. He was talking a lot about sexuality and the dynamics of sexuality when he first came out. Most teachers in the metaphysical realms, or in the mindset realms or thought leadership realms, most of them start by micro niching. And it's going to help you make a lot more money a lot faster. So this is a great place for you to start. Parents who have children that have been diagnosed with allergies, the 3 solutions, the 5 solutions, to start talking about that, to start teaching, has your child been misdiagnosed with allergies, right? Or can you reverse an allergy, right? These are all questions. These are all topics that you can make videos on, that you can start speaking into, and, get to that point where you're making your $5,000, $10,000 a year, get that base level of clients. And then you can absolutely blow that up and start training all parents on, how to deal with trauma in their children and all kinds of topics, right? But that seems like a powerful place to start. How does that land?
Would you say that would be a niche than just to go with the general, weight loss type of thing?
Well,
clean eating.
Here's what I know is that when somebody tells me I could talk about that topic all day long, there's something in you that has conviction around that. What's your belief, Julie, about parents? Like if a parent came to you and said, oh my God, my doctor just told me that my kid's allergic to these 30 different things and I'm overwhelmed and I'm stressed out and I'm already a working parent. Like if that was me telling you that to you, can you just give me like 2 or 3 sentences letting me know your belief, your stance on this topic?
Yeah, I would probably tell you that I would go into something about what are they eating, and most likely it's something to do with the gut, or, just start going off on all the, all the things that are related to that, sure, you can eliminate that, but there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it.
Yeah. So
with eating.
So let's practice this for a moment, because I feel passion in you is my point. And I'm not saying you can't do weight loss. You could do weight loss. But what I know is that if you have a micro niche that you are passionate about, that translates. That's like gold, when you can speak with conviction. But Julie, do you believe that cutting out those foods in the can be a short-term solution, but a long-term solution is to look at what that child's actually eating, what their other health concerns or what their other symptoms might be, and to really start to do some repair on their gut health?
Right, which would eventually lead to some kind of emotional and energy work as well, because
Great.
usually a physical symptom is a result of an emotional root cause.
Now I'm feeling
Now
your
we're
certainty.
getting into the.
Now I'm feeling your certainty. Can you guys feel it? So Julie, one more time, give me a couple sentences of, this is where I stand. Bring me some certainty, right?
Well, you kind of have to meet people where they're at, because if they think it's all physical at first.
Right. But like, I want to hear what you would say into a video camera.
Oh my gosh, I'm the worst at video cameras.
I don't believe it. You look great.
I've never done any videos. This is terrifying right now.
I don't care if you've never done it. All I care about is that you're willing to talk into a video camera like you're doing right now.
Okay, so what's the question again?
Okay, so I am a receptive. I want to know your opinion. Julie, like, I'm so confused. Like, tell me what you think about this. And if you were speaking into a video camera, just give me literally a couple sentences of what you believe could help my child.
Okay, well, I had a daughter myself that was allergic to every grain. So I can tell you that we eliminated every grain, and that led us down to the thing that there was a lot of other issues that we ended up doing. We did clear that allergy, but in the end, we had to do a lot of emotional clearing as well. And that daughter is, because of a lot of techniques and tools that I used over the years, she is not allergic to anything now.
Oh, can you guys feel that? She's not allergic to anything now because of the gut repair and the emotional work that we did with her. And so one of the things I'm noticing in Julie is that she's very modest. Can you guys hear that in her? Did you guys hear how she kind of glossed over? My daughter was deemed alert. And then, oh, by the way, we cleared the allergy. Right? And you even kind of said it like, no big deal. We cleared the allergy. My grandpa used to do stuff like that. I'd be like, Grandpa, what's this picture of the mountain with the rope? And he'd be like, oh, well, my friends and I just bought this rope for 10 cents and we climbed up the mountain and it was cold and it was dark and it was hard and we climbed up the mountain and we brought a motor and this rope and then that ended up being the first ski hill in the state of Minnesota. And we'd be like, Grandpa, like you started the first ski hill in Minnesota? And he'd be like, oh yeah, no big deal. Did I tell you that rope cost 10 cents? But here's the thing, right? Like my grandpa wasn't really needing to sell anything and you are. So I say that with love for all of you guys, but it's like, would you guys be willing to call each other out when you hear each other being almost too modest? Raise your hand. So Julie, I'm going to call you out right now. When you claim that you were able to do both emotional work and gut health repair on your daughter to completely clear an allergy to all grains, that's a big deal. And so can I give you the assignment of continuing to practice those statements with some conviction? Yeah?
Yes.
Is there anybody here that wants to practice with Julie? Just practice statements of conviction. This is a great thing to practice. I see Maria putting her hand up. You can jot down these names. I see Elizabeth putting her hand up. You guys can find more partners on the chat thread if you guys want to practice with each other. But this is a great thing to practice, just bringing that certainty. And Julie, this is exciting. Because I think in some ways this is going to stand out a lot more than weight loss because everybody is teaching weight loss. And I'm not saying you can't, if you came to me saying, I really want to teach people to lose weight, then what we would do is we would help you choose a weight loss niche that is specific, that's more micro niched, right? Like a way of losing weight that's micro niched. But I'm going to stand by how passionate I heard you be
Well,
about the parenting piece. Okay.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Give her a kiss. Mwah.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Let's hear from Stephanie Ryan. Hi, sweetheart.
How are you?
Great. Has this been helpful so far?
Yes. But I'm also one of those that's very like, I'm not a real, I mean, I am a big personality around my friends, but here I'm not.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure what I want to do. I just know that I want to stop doing what I'm doing now and I want to help people. I feel like I'm going through self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I know that everybody's going through that, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I'm just kind of all over the place and I'm not even sure what my intention is or what to do.
So first of all, I want to address that you don't have to be a big personality to be successful in this business. In fact, some of my clients and colleagues are successful because they're more soft-spoken. So what I do know, though, is that you got to get out there as yourself. So if who you are is more introverted, if who you are is more quiet or more quiet confidence, then that's actually exactly what people are going to be looking for from you. Because write this down, so often, you guys, your niche is you. It's a version of you. And we do an amazing job of helping people where we might just be a few steps ahead of them in a certain area. And I'm going to say that one more time. In a certain area. There are women who hire me all the time who have gone further in other areas. There's a gal named Tracy who is in the main Zoom room who's launched like $1 billion company, I think in the realm of clothes for pregnant moms. She supports pregnant moms and she has like a product. Right? And if I was launching a clothing-based product, I'd be hiring her. Does it make sense? But she's now bringing a message around millionaire mindset. And so I'm the right coach for her in this area because I know how to help her build her movement online. And so make no mistake, for any of you that are feeling a little bit in over your head, all you have to do is help people in one area. And Stephanie, it sounds like you're working inside of yourself with just getting the confidence to speak up, or tell me a little bit more about what your journey is like around your confidence.
Because I am soft-spoken, and like I've noticed a lot of my friends have a lot of conversation. They sit there and talk for hours and they talk over me. And I used to try to fight with them, but it's like too hard for me to speak loud for some reason. So I would just, let them talk. So I actually have something someone gave me. My voice is no longer silenced. So that's something that I'm trying to do, but it's really hard for me to speak up and to speak over and to, do that with a lot of gusto and energy. But I also do feel like that everyone needs to be able to speak their voice. I think that's
Yep.
great.
I see a lot of women nodding, by the way. I think that there's other women here who have had that experience of feeling like it's hard to speak up. And that was also true for me, especially you guys have heard about my stories of being bullied in high school and just being so painfully insecure. And it took me years to become the woman that you see me being now. And I would have much preferred, when I was really in my journey of how do I speak up when everybody's got so much to say and people are talking over each other and I start to talk and somebody cuts me off, right? And I have this sinking weight in my stomach. I would have much preferred to learn from somebody like you who can really relate to what that's like versus somebody who's all rah, rah, right? Like rah, rah extroverted. And so I could imagine you having a group, especially for women who are learning to speak up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Writing that down.
Yeah. And, you know, you could have a group called, you know, learning to speak up. And it could be for, you know, for women who are not willing to be silenced any longer. And I could imagine you tackling some subjects, you know, on some videos around what it's like when you're interrupted, what to do when you get interrupted, you know, what to do when you can't find your voice, how to speak up in intimate relationships, how to speak up in groups. There's 4 topics right there that I would have probably binge watched you 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to do some work.
And remember, it starts one step at a time. You can get a Facebook group up in 5 minutes and then play around with seeing if you could challenge yourself to do a video once a week.
Okay.
But I promise you, your clients are on Facebook and they're looking for ways to help them speak up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Kiss for Stephanie. Let us know how it goes. Do you know what coach you've been assigned to?
Shannon.
Yeah, she's got your back on that.
Yeah.
Do not definitely don't withhold anything that we've talked about here.
Okay.
Or you can at your own peril. No, just kidding. But that always causes us a moment of curiosity when, like, Shannon or Megan or whoever and I will be talking and checking in about you guys. Because, by the way, we check in about you guys every week. And, you know, Shannon will come and be like, oh, this client of mine, she can't figure out her niche. She's all over the place, this, and this. And, like, this will be somebody that I coached on their niche. And, like, I thought we had it. And that client didn't tell Shannon anything about it. And I'm always just like, no, there was some level of clarity. Even if you change your mind, you know, you can still let your coaches know what we talked about here so that they can at least build on that. And Stephanie, thank you for being somebody who has really, I don't know if these would be your words, but you've really been willing to fight the good fight of bringing your voice. Because it's no joke. It's no joke to stand up for yourself and bring your voice when that part has been silenced.
Thank you.
Yeah. Kiss for you. Mwah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I still have conversations with certain people in my life where my throat closes up and it's like so hard to get the words out. Right? There's still, especially for me, romantic relationships. So I'm really excited for you to bring this. And the comments thread I'm noticing is got a lot of love for you. So keep an eye on the chat. There's some love for you over there. Let's all take a nice deep breath. Nice big exhale. Oh. All right, Tatina, you've had your hand up for a while. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like
I have lots of different pieces, and the reason that I chose to do the leadership program is I'm really ready to weave them together and go forward. And it doesn't feel so much like choosing either or as, you know, does it make sense to put them together? And kind of what do I call myself? So to give you a little bit of background, I am a jewelry designer and also a shamanic practitioner. And I started actually when quarantine started. I created a little online, make your own seed of potential jewelry.
Mhm.
And I studied the practitioner training and have actually seen clients just specifically for shamanic work. And that I feel has really given me depth in terms of actually working with clients with the jewelry. So do I call myself a shamanic practitioner who works with jewelry, or am I a jeweler who works with shamanic work? You know, does that make any sense?
Yep.
And then the next part of it is like, who am I actually serving? You know?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. So let me give you just a little bit of my own experience. As you guys know, I've spent the last 10 or 12 years just really studying what works, especially in the personal development field. So I make it my business to know what works. I take it very seriously. And I know that some of what I lay down for you guys can just cause a little bit of like, a little resistance or a little feeling of like, I don't want to let that part of it go, right? Because we all get attached to what we do. So I'm going to say something that might kick up resistance in some of you. Anytime you bring something to your niche that is not personal development, jewelry is an example, because jewelry also is something totally different. People don't understand what your jewelry process is. When you say jewelry, they have an idea of what that is. And they can go buy a piece of jewelry at their favorite jewelry store for $79, right? Or whatever. Same with meditation, qigong, yoga. And I have women come to us all the time who have a background in all these different areas. Jewelry making, right? Pamela's here, right? She's an expert in crystal singing bowls, right? Women who have years of experience leading meditation or yoga classes. The problem with putting those things in your top marketing is that people don't value it the way that you deserve. And I know that statement can kick up resistance, but trust me when I say I've been watching this for 12 years.
Well,
And
that's kind of been my experience, actually.
And you guys hire us to help you make really good money. So that's what I'm standing in for you. And so great. So that's been your experience. And I always know I have to kind of tread lightly, not just for you, but for all of you here, because I know for me, I had taught a lot of yoga when I started my life purpose practice. And I was like, why can't I tell everybody we're going to do yoga practices for purpose clarity? And I remember being like, my friend being like, great, they'll want to pay you $12. And I was like, oh crap, right? Like I had to sit with that awareness myself. So we also have several women that have gone through our programs that have built multi-six-figure businesses in the shamanism niche. Shamanism is making a comeback. I'd say that the discussion around shamanism is even part of what I refer to as, you guys probably know this word, the zeitgeist. Mm-hmm. Right? Write this down. This is a good word for us to know as marketers. Zeitgeist. I believe it's spelled Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist is the leading edge of consciousness. Like right now, if you had a program that supported people to get through a pandemic, you would be on the edge of consciousness. You would be right there in the zeitgeist, because guess what? That's what everybody's talking about. So we want to think about the zeitgeist as we consider some of our marketing, right? Like I use the term thought leadership. That's a newer term. 5 years ago, people weren't throwing around that term like they are now, right? That's a word I can use in my marketing now that I probably wouldn't have used 5 years ago. So for you, shamanism, I believe, is something people are interested in, right? Like shamanistic solutions to, you know, a spiritual confusion, identity crisis, right? The shamanistic solution to an identity crisis, right? What shamanism can do for you, if you're feeling lost, confused, right? You can check out Rose Cole. Write down her name, Rose Cole. She's one of our grads. She was in Leverage for 2 years, and she built a $500,000 business, helping people step onto the shaman path and bringing everyday rituals into their life for clarity, calmness, thriving health. So just check out her marketing as a place to get inspired and know that, you know, we were really behind and supportive of a lot of what she's doing, and let it be one of those stories where you're like, okay, well, if she can do it, I can do it too, right? And you're going to do it your way.
Well, you know, and that addresses the question of, you know, who am I actually serving? And one of the things that I am really connected to is because I went through an eating disorder and the whole area of addiction, and, you know, those kind of limiting behaviors that stop us from moving forward. But my passion is really in the soul's journey that we each undertake, that actually nothing that we've ever done has ever been a mistake, that somehow our soul really chose that. So it's kind of taking the shame out of all of those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's sparking.
And, you know, if you know, you have a choice. If you want to go metaphysical, you can build a brand in shamanism, in training people on the shamanistic journey. If you want to support people with eating disorders, you know, and then bring in the spiritual conversation into that, that would also be a very marketable niche. And here's what's interesting. Rose Cole actually partners with a jewelry maker. And when people join her shaman journey, her 9-month journey, they get this custom made piece of jewelry to hold the power of their intention. And another gal you can look up who's currently our client, her name is Debbie Lichter.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a food freedom brand. She also struggled with addiction around food. And interestingly enough, Debbie Lichter is also a jewelry maker. And she makes the most beautiful jewelry. And when women join her $10,000 program, she custom makes them.
Well, that's what you're doing.
But neither of them talk about the jewelry in their top marketing.
Okay.
See, they both have built these beautiful brands, because here's the thing, you guys, personal development is a commodity. People want it. They want coaching. They want guidance. They want to know what to do when their kid's been misdiagnosed. They want to know what to do with their eating addiction. It's a commodity. It's worth thousands of dollars, right? And so when you stand in that outcome, and then you bring jewelry in as part of the process, you bring yoga in, you bring meditation in as part of the process, right? Can you guys imagine if I was like, yeah, join my year-long business training program. It's $15,000 and we're going to have dance parties all the time. You'd be like, okay, great. What am I going to learn about my business? Right? So, I get excited about this for you. Now, are you leaning more toward like a shamanism, a more metaphysical niche, or does it feel maybe right for you to start a little bit more mainstream, like with like an eating disorder type of niche?
You know, I think I'm leaning towards the shamanism because I personally have stepped onto that next part of the journey, and I'm not feeling as identified in some ways, you know. And believe me, I was very much identified before, but I've put a lot of time and work, and I feel like I'm really in the, and here's what really is, you know, happening where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a deeper current of energy that I feel you can help people tap into.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that the transmission I'm getting from you is that you've done a lot of work to really be able to always come back to that deeper current of energy.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Because without that, we spin out, we're stuck in overwhelm, we don't take the steps. And so this deeper current of energy that you can teach people to nurture, foster, create, that current of energy can carry them all the days of their life.
Right. And, you know, I'm not a therapist. I'm not wanting to sort of drop back into the old story.
Right.
Even though I have great compassion having been there.
No, you teach spiritual tools for a complete soul renewal, a complete reunion with who you really are. And so who's your coach?
Claire Cooey.
Okay. So I'm going to encourage you to work with Claire on that marketing language around shamanism. And, you know, to go back and listen to this recording, we're about we've been going since 1:30 or so. So we're probably 40 minutes into this recording, but you're teaching a complete reuniting with the soul, teaching people to continually tap in to a never ending underlying current of energy that they can always return to, no matter what's happening externally in their life, no matter pandemic, no matter breakup, no matter health condition, because health starts here. It's, you know, whole balanced health starts in the soul, right? Just like we were talking about with Julie, right? There's something so much bigger going on when you actually clear the emotional body and then the allergy clears. You know, you're just going at it from a different angle. It's the same conversation. And so, yeah, you got this. But your job, because shamanism is a little bit ambiguous, your job is to really stand in coming up with 3 to 5 marketable phrases that you can really stand in. This is what this path is about. Yeah. And then practice those on people and ask them to give you practice those on women here in this group and with Claire, and ask them to give you actual feedback.
Yeah.
On whether that sounds like something right?
Yeah.
They would invest in.
Well, I want to commend you on your genius, Sage. If I were to actually have put it into what I'm really looking to do, is it's really about, it's that wholeness piece. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. And wholeness, so that what? Right? We teach you to become whole so that you show up in your career, in your relationships, right? Grounded, centered, asking for what you want. And I also find, you guys, in marketing, I find that words like self-love and wholeness can sometimes have a stigma around them, where people start going, oh, well, my mom always just used to tell me I was whole and it never worked. So it's like, just be careful. One of the things, write this down about marketing, is that you're wanting to find language that's maybe a little bit fresher, a little bit new, but it's also language that doesn't create resistance in people. You're going for the minimal amount of resistance. And so that's what I like about, you know, using some kind of a metaphor, like tapping into the underlying current of your soul, right? Like something like that, like nobody can argue with that, right?
Yeah. Well, I've been using the metaphor of planting seeds, because seeds already contain everything that they need, and they really just need the right conditions, the right soil for them to flourish, you know, and right taken care of, basically.
I like that. And I don't know how that's about me.
Yeah.
So write this down, you guys. Good marketing is about your potential client. Okay. Right? So whatever metaphor you choose, it's got to be something that basically makes somebody go, oh, I want that. I want the underlying current of my soul, or I want that unshakable soul clarity that she's talking about. I want that. So to come up with phrases like unshakable soul clarity, or, you know, an inner, like an inner GPS system, right? Or like an inner compass, right? Like your own soul compass, right? Like something like that is about them getting something back that nobody can ever take away from them again. Write this down. The best marketing, you guys, write this down. It's individualized.
Mhm.
People don't just want the solution anymore. They want their solution. So you guys can all start brainstorming your own marketing language, right? Based on the feedback I'm giving. All right, Tatina.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Kiss for Tatina. Mwah. Congratulations on your shamanism brand. I'm excited for you. And I happen to know that there's several women here that are going to be great referral partners for you, because there's several women here that have complementary services. In fact, there are women here that support parents. There are women here who support finding fulfillment after 40. And these are all very complementary services. You guys can play with each other and do social media posts for each other. So don't forget to be writing each other's names down and thinking about who you might want to reach out to for a conversation after this call, because we can't get together live and in person right now, you guys. We can't do it. We can't get together live. So in the absence of that, you guys have got to be leaders. You know, you guys have got to reach out to each other individually and make those connections when you feel a resonance, so that you can have that, because it's a really valuable part of the program. Okay, awesome. Let's hear from Jen. You've had your hand up for a while. Hi, sweetie.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, wow. What a great segue. I feel like I just learned a lot from Tatina's coaching session. So that was awesome. So I've been working with clients for about a year now. I'm really grateful to say that. And I've had about 14 clients. So really has been just gold in clarifying my message and understanding what I do. I am wanting to refine that, and I recognize that I have a lot to offer. Actually just gave myself a raise, which feels really good. But I'm still just trying to understand, this like specific niche of like, am I a spiritual growth mentor or guide, relationships, or even life purpose clarity? Because I feel like I do all of those things, but I understand the value of really getting specific.
I can totally relate to doing all those things. And in order to really scale and refine, it's helpful to choose something, right?
Totally.
So that you really can get that, kind of carve out more of that momentum that then is kind of self-perpetuating, because that's when the team comes. That's when the 50 to 100 clients come. And so, that's what's exciting about it, right? So what has been your message so far, and what are you thinking next?
Yeah. So I consider myself a female empowerment coach or guide.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of guidance work, and I go deep. I consider myself somebody who can see in the dark. I work a lot with understanding fear, understanding blocks, and I am not afraid to go in there. And I really create a safe, held container full of support to be that leader.
Mm-hmm.
I just looked up what Changemaker is, because I'm like, that sounds like my people. Mm-hmm. So I love that. I know my people do have these roles where they're space holding, want to be a better space holder. Moms as well. I consider those like leaders in their own way, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's so that I really want to create that major change in like what I consider like the system, essentially really helping people understand who they are. And it's so correlated to what the other women have shared too, so that they can really authentically be themselves and really speak their truth. I'm also a sound healer and a yoga teacher, and I love that you just addressed those pieces. But there is the spiritual aspect for sure. But I really mainly help women who are wanting a bigger change, transitions. I've worked with a lot of women who are in that transition or feeling like at a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
So, and wanting clarity and connection is like a big part of it.
Yeah, I like it.
And embodiment too.
Do you have a Facebook group yet?
I don't have a Facebook group yet. I do have the Facebook page, but yeah.
What's it called?
Jen Gens.
Okay.
I just use my
Great.
name.
Yeah, totally. congratulations on your success. I think
Thank you.
your intuition, take that in. Your intuition is right about going to the next level. So do you see yourself with groups? You see yourself?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
So I'm wondering about steering you in the direction of something around purpose-driven women.
Yeah.
Because it's marketable. Women could come to get more clear on their purpose, their clarity around their life purpose, and to work on those deeper spiritual alignment and embodiment tools and some of the core empowerment principles. And notice how, like with Jen, I'm giving her, and I'm just throwing these out. Jen can play with these however she wants, but you guys notice how I'm kind of starting to name her tools. This is a super hot hack when it comes to starting to tangibilize what you do. Because one of the big goals that your coaches and I have for you is that you guys get out of this energy around selling air and you start to give your offerings form. You're giving them form. Write that down. And so for Jen, she might have like the 10-step empowerment toolkit for spiritually driven women, right? And she's going to talk about, when you have these 10 empowerment tools, or when you have these 10 spiritual empowerment tools, here's how that works in your life. And here's how that can help you. And she's going to start to create suspense around those things. Right? And that's where we can really create some good momentum for you guys with your marketing, because that's where you can really catalyze a group of people to all be saying, I need those 10 tools. Oh my gosh, what she's talking about is true for me. Oh my gosh, I need the purpose clarity system she's talking about. Right? And if system's not a word that resonates with you, it's like maybe a purpose clarity framework, or, right? So these words that we can use to start to kind of package what we offer, that becomes like a part of our niche. It becomes a part of what makes our niche work. Is that helpful, you guys? Yeah, I like purpose-driven women.
Yeah, that's awesome. I realized too, a common thread is I work a lot with creative, ambitious women, really creative. Actually, love what you just said, because my tagline on my site is aligned, embodied freedom. So I'm glad to hear that reflected.
Yeah. And so, did you say blind? What kind of freedom?
Aligned, embodied freedom.
Aligned, embodied freedom. So,
and I'm working also with fearless, flowing freedom was another.
Yeah. So my feeling is that purpose clarity is something that sells because people want a problem solved. And the problem then that you help them with is that there's some level of confusion that they have in their life. And they're going to invest somewhere to get that clarity. Clarity is it's a marketable commodity. Freedom is a little bit slipperier, right? And yeah. I'm not saying you can't use it, but freedom, I like that you have it in your tagline and not your main top marketing. But I could see something like purpose-driven women, and I'd like to know if there's anybody that has a Facebook group titled that, because if they don't, I would scoop it up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once somebody has titled a group a certain title, no other people can't use that title. So you can play around with different things. You could do like purpose-driven-women, but at the next break, I would go and see if purpose-driven women is available, because that would be something you can scoop up in the same way like you can scoop up a URL. And by the way, you guys do not need a URL to start calling your business something or calling your Facebook group something. Like I wouldn't have needed to own womenrockingbusiness.com. It's great that I do, but I wouldn't have needed to. Unless there was like a really big brand that somebody had built out doing almost exactly what I wanted to do, then I probably would have wanted to choose something different. But like, let's say that you wanted to use purpose-driven women and you can't get the URL. I wouldn't worry about it too much unless it's like somebody huge, like, you know, Brene Brown or somebody, then you want to stay away from their brand. But I don't want you guys getting too hung up on thinking you need the URL. Anyway, I like the idea of you having purpose-driven women, and then maybe a tagline that's something like, you know, discovering the framework or taking the steps, or, you know, the journey to creating aligned, embodied freedom in your life and your career, or something like that.
What about empowered guidance for?
I like that too. And I would just stay away from using too many of those long words in a tagline, because if you think about it, it's like empowered guidance for creating aligned, embodied freedom, you know, and you start hearing all those words in the same sentence, you're kind of like, what does that mean? She just mushed out on me. And one of the things I like about your energy, Jen, is that you're not a mush ball. You're not like, I can tell you don't go all the way into that metaphysically energy. Like you're pretty grounded. You're pretty practical. So, you know, you get shit done. You got 14 clients, right? You're not messing around. So that's why I recommend that for those of you guys that have that tendency to go metaphysical, and some of you know who you are, and I'm talking to you with total love, just choose one or two of those words to put in your tagline, and know that you can use all the other words other places.
Yeah, I actually consider myself somebody who uses science, where science meets spirituality. So I don't know if that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so again, I'd rather you have a tagline that's something about the journey they're taking,
Okay.
rather than something conceptual, because, right, like I love that phrase where science meets spirituality, but I don't know what that means to me. What are you going to do for me?
Maybe
I want to know that you're going to take me on a journey of clearing, you know, my confusion, my ambiguity, and you're going to help me actually create, you know, aligned, a deep knowingness and a freedom in my life and my career, right? Yeah. So you guys, that's the work that each of you are doing right now. The work that each of you are doing is you are doing the work to actually stand in tangible results. Even if you're very much in a place of spiritual support, even if you're in a very metaphysical niche, your work is still to get that tangible, clear language. Okay.
And so just to clarify, so does that mean I would be a little bridge between like the spiritual growth and the life purpose clarity, or is it life purpose clarity?
Well, that's the thing, right? Is like, if you're helping people get clear on their purpose, that's a deeply spiritual conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And there's a lot of places that those people could go for guidance. You're not the only one, but the people that choose you are going to be the people that want to have the conversation with you. You guys know I'm spiritual. I don't have to put spiritual business training in the title. As soon as you hear me open my mouth, you guys know that there's more going on over here than just, I can teach you how to get clients. And that's why you guys chose Women Rocking Business, I'm guessing, all kinds of reasons, rather than choosing another mentor. So don't worry about putting spiritual in your titles. Do you know what I mean? It can almost dampen it a little bit. Can you guys feel that? It can almost take away from the clarity of what you're really doing by just trying to add those words into your top marketing. You know, use them in wherever else you want. But in terms of top marketing, remember tangible results. And then your people that find you guys are going to resonate with your values. You know, and most of you are conscious, awake, transformational, spiritual, and authentic. And so you're gonna attract those kinds of people. I promise that's how it works. That's law of attraction. And every once in a while, you'll attract somebody. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that person hired me. And that has happened to me too. And then I realized that's like my biggest growth opportunity of the whole year, is to show up and learn to coach that client that I can't believe that she would choose me, right? Like, she's not like me at all. But then in coaching her, it's always the biggest breakthrough of the whole year. So don't be afraid of the clients that you might be surprised by. But Jen, you know, you're grounded, you're clear, you already have a ton of success. I see this really blowing up for you, actually.
Thank you. 10 more seconds. My discovery call, I call them clarity catalyst calls. But
I
today,
like that.
oh, you do like, okay. And then another one was sacred strategy session.
Either one. I like them both. And really, it's about choosing a short, succinct name. I like them both, but then telling me what's going to happen in that session. That's why I want to take you up on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Kiss for Jen. Mwah. All right. I think we have time for one more. I saw Marsha with her hand up. Hi, Marsha. Let's get you on here.
Marcia. So
Marcia, thank you for
me with the
thank
other
you
Marsha.
for yes, I got you, Marcia. Thank you for correcting me.
Okay, thank you very much. So I found great value when you talked to, I'm not sure, the lady who had the child with allergies.
Yeah, Julia.
Julia. Okay, so, but what happened is, as I'm listening, I got more and more confused. So I have two areas. I started off before I met you. I thought my focus would be on women in midlife. And then, excuse me, I recently acquired a certification in image consulting, which kind of links back to a background in fashion I've had forever. But when you said to her, what do you talk about all day long? What I talk about all day long is how to help you heal alternatively. But I have no qualifications whatsoever in that field. All I know is my PhD is that I'm trying to heal myself. Right? And as a result, because I'm an incredibly curious person, I keep delving deeper and deeper than any doctor can would want to go. So I don't know where I stand right now.
Well, let me also share it another way. When you are listening to any of us coaching you this year, myself or your trainers, if they say something that actually makes you more confused, you may want to just toss that out. Honestly, you guys are looking for the guidance that lights you up. You're looking for the guidance that lands and you go, oh, I think that's for me. You're looking for that little part in you to wake up, right? We're going to do another niche coaching call. Megan Neely's an amazing niche coach, by the way. They all are. All the coaches are. But they're going to do another niche coaching call, like I said, October 13th. So you guys will have that to continue to look forward to. And when you get on any of these coaching calls, you're always kind of tuning into yourself so that when something is said that has you kind of, your energy gets bigger, you know that's for you. So I'm not as concerned about you choosing something that you want to talk about all day long. I was just listening for what Julie was saying. I was looking for that thing that had me go, oh, she's got energy on that. Now for you, I'm curious about what you have energy on. And what you have energy, you know, you may have energy on wanting to help people with holistic healing, but the truth is that you can also talk about the healing journey if you're supporting women in midlife or if you're supporting women with their beauty journey. I'll tell you what I'm not willing to talk to you guys about all day long. I'm not willing to talk to you guys all day long about what you put on your website. It's not my jam. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? But I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to make sure somebody in my company tells you what to put on your website because you need that. So hear what I'm saying. There will be something that you might need to talk about as part of your promise to your clients, but you don't have to be the one to do it. You can bring somebody in to do it, or you can record yourself doing it and have that be a resource call so that you can also free up your energy to stay in the conversation that you do want to be having with people. So I just want to say that for all of you guys, because I find that this hangs people up on their niche. They get hung up by saying, well, I want to do this part, but not this part. And in my experience, it's kind of an entitled place to come from. Do you know what I mean? Like your job is not to say, I'll do this, but not this, right? Your job is to show up in service and be a leader and figure out how to get your people what they need And to know that that's not the only conversation you have to be in all day long. You guys can, there's all kinds of solutions to get people what they need that allows you to also stay in the part of the conversation that you like more. So remember that your most marketable niche does not exist in a fishbowl. It exists in you being in relationship with other people and them saying, I want that from you. So I don't know if I just helped or confused you more, but women in midlife is a hot niche. Helping women.
I have
Yeah.
a Facebook group, Women Master Midlife, but I feel like I'm struggling because I can't seem to put my finger on what they want. I've done a survey. I did a poll the other day. And I just feel like I'm doing everything that you said in the order. So right now I'm in the second day of my Facebook challenge, and it's on clearing close clutter. So I feel like my message is all over the place.
Clearing what clutter?
Close.
Clearing clothes, like
clutter. Like
clutter, clothes.
Yeah.
So what I would be curious about, you're in ELA?
Yeah, I am.
I would be curious about doing a survey in the ELA Facebook group and asking those women if they were going to show up for a midlife mastery video training, what topic would they want to learn about? Because I'm imagining they might want to learn about things like reinventing themselves. What do I do next? I've lost my passion. My kids just left the house and I don't know who I am anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are some typical midlife struggles that people have.
Yeah, it's like I really feel comfortable with all things midlife because I'm living it and I've gone through some of the trials of it, especially with health and aging parents and everybody dying and that kind of stuff.
And so, right, like when you say clearing the clutter of your clothes, to me, that doesn't have anything to do with midlife.
Well, that's why I'm trying to pull the image consulting part of me in.
But hold on, because here's what happens. You end up muddying the water.
That's how I feel.
The best marketing, it's a very clear sign that says if you are in this conversation, if you are struggling with this, flashing signs, come here. But if on one banner it says, hey, I'm going to help you with your midlife issues, your midlife confusion, and then on another one, I'm going to help you figure out what to wear. Those are two different conversations. And as soon as you start doing that, what happens is people tune out. Because here's why. The brain, you guys, people that are searching on social media, the brain is always needing to conserve calories. So people are like these little tuning forks, like dee 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 dee. I'm looking for something that might help me, and when they start finding something that could help them, it's like dee dee dee, right? Like blinking louder, right? But then if you're not staying on the conversation of midlife, reinvention, who are you now? What's your passion, right? You're in the middle of your life. How do you want to feel when you get on your deathbed, right? You know, on your last day on planet Earth, you know, what are you saying to yourself? If you're not in that conversation, it's too easy for people to bounce. There's a lot of great marketers out there. So like the way you guys join the ranks of good marketers, because every single one of you gets to do that. You get to join the ranks of good marketers this year in the next 6 to 12 months. You get to. And the way you do that is by choosing something and staying on it. Okay? Okay, you got this.
I do. Thank you.
You do got this. All right, give Marcia some love. Give her the sparkle. We are going to be back at the top of the hour on the main Zoom line. Are you guys picking up what I'm laying down? So you guys had that Zoom line in your email. It's in your Facebook group. We're going to be back at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. I hope this was helpful. Jill, thank you for being here. And there is more niche clarity waiting for you with your private coaches, in the Make Money with Your Message course and on that extra niche bonus call. So we've got your backs. And remember, you guys, I want to say one more thing. Don't go anywhere. It's not that important what you choose. What matters is that you choose. Because trust me when I say, I'm hanging out with my friend Claire Zammit, who has a multi-7-figure business helping people with feminine power, my friend Ocean Robbins, who helps people create a food revolution. And our lives are like 90% the same. You know, we're talking about people's dreams and their goals and their visions. We're coaching people. We're setting up websites. We're managing our teams. We're getting interviewed. We're talking about things we're passionate about. So don't worry too much about what you choose. Just choose something and get on it so that we can get you some clients. Okay? Fist bump. Unmute yourselves. Let us know what you're walking
Thank
away
you.
with.
Thank you.
Ready.
We will see you at the top of the hour. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Power.
Bye. See you all in the main room.